Hi there, I'm Jen. A while ago, I made a video about items in my house that I can't live without. Right here. Went over really well, and I got like a billion comments. I'm still answering and liking the comments on that video. And so many great suggestions for more things. Obviously, I only put 8 things that I couldn't live without as a single person. But wow, the responses really made me think. And so I'm doing another video about things I can't live alone without. I hope you like it. Definitely leave me a comment. I love getting new ideas for things that I won't be able to live without. But the starting one I have, and someone did mention it in the previous video, and I had forgotten about that, but I have a little wagon, a cart, instead of a wheelbarrow. It's a gorilla cart. It moves everything for me, and it's way more stable than a wheelbarrow. Now, I live in a house. Obviously, if you live in a condo or an apartment, this isn't going to be for you. But if you live in a house and you need to move gardening things around or even just heavy items out of the car, this cart is amazing. And I honestly can't live without it. One thing I fell in love with while living alone as a university student is right behind me. I tried to live without when I moved into my house because I have a very small kitchen and I didn't want it taking up counter space. But I tried for a year and then said, screw it. I cannot live without this as a single person. Yeah, it's my toaster oven. I adore it. It's perfect for one person. I do have a full-size stove, oven, everything, but for doing toast, for heating up things, I can fit a full flatbread pizza, frozen, in there. Also, frozen chicken fingers, frozen fish sticks, frozen anything. Pop it in the toaster oven and I don't have to heat up the entire oven, which I guess is environmentally good too and good for my gas bill. I have a gas oven. Toaster oven, can't live alone without it. Yeah, that's a crock pot. A well-loved and often used crock pot. So toaster oven, yes, check. Use it all the time, every day. Crock pot, I use it probably twice a month. It is perfect for making batch cooking meals. So chili, and I make butter chicken. I make a wicked butter chicken in a crock pot. Anything. I can cook anything in that crock pot. It's lovely and definitely a staple for people who are living alone. Another thing I can't live without is my mini freezer. It's great for getting meat on sale and you can't eat it all. You saw I have a great big chicken drumsticks from Costco. I would never be able to eat all of those, but it was on sale and it's great to be able to catch meat on sale, store leftovers, and if you're batch cooking, of course, single serve meals, and that's what I use it for. Next up, on my outside door and on a window on the other side of my house, I have emergency stickers that say that I have pets in the house and to hopefully save them for firefighters and other emergency personnel. Hadn't thought of that before, but it did come up on the other video. Someone suggested it, and it's a super idea. I got the sticker on Amazon. It was like $5 for a package. I've got 3 more stickers. It came in a package of 5, so $1 each. And it's not a sticky sticker, it's a vinyl sticker, so it's a static cling-on, which is good because my door has the window. It isn't a solid door, but they had sticky ones too. And I think that's really valuable because I love my babies. I love Sky, I love Quinn. And if I'm not home and something happens in the house, then I want them to be saved for sure. Another suggestion that came up on the previous video was a fire extinguisher. And I had forgotten about that. I do have a fire extinguisher, like an old school one that you would buy at Canadian Tire or like a hardware store or something, Home Depot. I have one of those, but someone in the previous video mentioned that those were awkward and she was scared of them. I don't know if she said she was scared, but she felt that she would be uncomfortable trying to use it if it was in an emergency situation. And so she mentioned that there are now fire extinguishers that work like a hairspray bottle. You just point and spray. And I thought, I would like that because, to tell the truth, I'm not sure that I would be reading the instructions on this fire extinguisher that I have properly in case of an emergency. I mean, I know that I would figure it out, but maybe she's right. You know, you'll be a little bit flustered if there's a fire in your kitchen or something, and it might be easier to just point and spray. And so I found this online on Amazon. It's called Dry Stop Fire Spray. It's for small fires only, which hopefully would be the only kind of fire that ever happens to me. And all you do is pop off the little safety thing and point and shoot. Or press and sweep is what they say. Anyhow, I'll leave a link in the description to this. It came in a package of 2, so I have one in the house and I have one in my garage. I still have the big normal one that you see in the hardware stores, but I think that I'm less intimidated maybe, and I might be more able to use this one, the Dry Stop fire spray. I could probably use it quicker in an emergency, I think. We'll see, but at least I'm covered for fire extinguishers in the unlikely case of a fire. One thing I've learned about commenters on my videos is that they have really great ideas. And one of the really great ideas that came up in my last video on things I can't live without was to keep emergency contact information, prescription information, etc., in an envelope on your fridge. Really good idea for a person living alone. So I have now implemented that. Another thing I can't live alone without, and I don't know if I can live alone without it or I just can't live without it, but it's a projection alarm clock. I know, phones are doing all of the alarms from now on, and I wake up early enough that I don't really need an alarm, but I love the projection of the time onto the ceiling. I love that. I have taken this clock on vacation with me because I like to wake up and just look at the ceiling and see what time it is without having to struggle to look over one way or the other to find what time it is. So I don't know if it's an alone thing, but I really do love my projection alarm clock. Now, I don't think that it's any great surprise that I'm a big fan of lights. I've talked about my Christmas lights obsession, and I also have lights all outside, but I have solar lights outside in my garden and on my back fence. And when you live alone, it's nice to have a lighted backyard. I mean, my backyard is pitch black at night because I back onto a riparian zone, which is a protected environmental area. So it's all just very thick bush and forest. There's nothing back there but animals, and I'm very happy to have the animals back there, but it does make it completely dark and black. And I like to have just a little bit of light in the backyard, especially letting Sky out for, her last little piddle at night, to know that the backyard isn't completely dark. And so I have solar lights, and they are wonderful. And I bought the flickering kind, and I also have just regular, and I have a dragon in my garden. It was some sort of a splurge buy, but I have a dragon in the garden holding a crystal ball, as it were, which also lights up in different colors, and it's solar as well. I just think they're funky, they're great. And I really suggest if you live alone and you've got a dark spot somewhere in your yard that you put a stake with a solar light on it, just for peace of mind. And the last thing, and this came up like 1,000 times on the previous video, a grabber, which is a long-handled tweezer thing that people use to pick things up off the floor or from behind the fridge or behind the dryer or behind something. And I don't have one yet. RBC recommends getting long-handled, silicone-tipped kitchen tongs for grabbing things as well. And those I do have. And yes, kitchen tongs, the silicone tip ones, I use every day. And I don't know if that's a living alone thing or not, but if you don't have someone tall to reach up onto the tall shelves, this is definitely a good thing to have. So, thank you everyone who commented on the last video, and I'm sure that I will get more comments on this video. I would love to get more comments on this video because these can't be the only things that I can't live alone without. Give me a thumbs up, comment, and please subscribe if you haven't already.